Hey y'all, thanks for watching. So, unfortunately today I want to talk to you all about why I believe that Democrats are going to lose the 2020 election and why Trump's going to win re-election. And that's not even my big fear, guys. My big fear is that Trump will be re-elected and then Republicans will get behind impeaching him and removing him from office, and then Mike Pence will become president. And that's pretty freaking nightmarish to me. So, let's get on to why I believe you're going to lose. First reason, we'll say 1A, really, because they're equally legitimate reasons. So we'll say 1A. 1A is because Joe Biden is a joke. He is what your own party calls a corporate or centrist establishment Democrat. Big money's behind him. His time to run was 4 years ago when he was Uncle Joe and everybody loved him, and he was talking in the memes about how he's going to kick Trump's ass all the time. So yeah, that was the time for Joe Biden to run. Not now that his eyeballs, blood vessels are popping while he's talking on, and his teeth are slipping out, and he's being investigated for some pretty shady crap, him and his son. Which, let's be honest, I don't think that it's a justification for what Trump did. I believe that Trump justifies his actions by saying that, well, they did it, so I should be able to do it. But he's looking at it all wrong. He's looking at it as getting what he wants by being the president. And Biden was the president, and he wasn't doing what he wanted. He was doing what pretty much the whole world wanted, and the administration at the time wanted, not just his own wishes. So again, I mean, he could harp at Obama about it, but again, he's not. He's going after Joe Biden. Again, I think that any of this stuff, Hunter Biden, Ivanka Trump, any of these people being able to make money off of their political positions, their parents' political positions, is gross. And there definitely, if there isn't laws against it, there should be. Yeah, they shouldn't be able to be in a position to, unjust enrichment is basically how I would look at it. Unjust enrichment. But moving beyond that to 1B, which is just as important as 1A, is yesterday on CNN, they had a hit piece on Bernie Sanders. And I say hit piece because it wasn't a piece of actual journalism. It was an attack on Bernie Sanders. And what they said was there was a source saying that in the Elizabeth Warren camp, that months ago, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren had a meeting together, and during that conversation, Bernie basically said that a woman couldn't win the election. Now, that being said, at no point until now has this story ever come up, which is kind of funny because it's right at the time that the caucuses start up, which everybody considers these are the important states. These are the important early voting states that determine who's going to be the candidate of the party, blah, 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 blah. So I just find it very coincidental that whenever it's right at this time of year, whenever it's actual go time, that this story comes out. Because it's very reminiscent as to what happened with Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton back in 2016, whenever right at the end, they were stories coming out saying that males in the Bernie Sanders campaign had treated women unfairly. Not sexual harassment, I believe, but just treated them unfairly, weren't giving them opportunities and advancement or positions like they had the males. And Bernie came out and said, hey, this is terrible, this is the first I'm hearing about this, if this is true, it's unacceptable, blah, 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 blah. And people said, Bernie, that's not good enough, man. You're the dude in charge. You're the candidate. You should have been on top of this, man. And a lot of folks believe that's why, well, not why Bernie lost, because they really did, the DNC, there's proof of it. They stole the nomination and just gave it to Clinton. But he did lose some support from that especially from females, for this perceived sexism. So again, the CNN piece, they come out and it's the anchor and two panelists sitting there to give their opinion. No facts whatsoever on the story. And they say, well, Sanders and her campaign have not responded, have made no response to inquiries about this statement. Bernie Sanders, however, has made a statement. He said it's ludicrous, completely preposterous. He never said it, never would say something like that. He thinks Bernie Sanders is he thinks that Elizabeth Warren is a fantastic person, and would never disparage her for being a woman or say that she couldn't be elected due to being a woman. Now, they continued on for like another 6 minutes talking about how bad this looked for Bernie Sanders having said this, with Elizabeth Warren's party saying nothing and Bernie saying, I did not say this. They say it speaks volumes that Elizabeth Warren hasn't said anything yet. Well, today she did say something. And it wasn't that Bernie Sanders had said that. She just said that she hoped that Bernie Sanders, would run a clean campaign or whatever. Something to that effect. That she hoped that his opinions didn't run in that vein. Or he didn't believe those things. She did not come out and say that Bernie Sanders said that to her. Again, she didn't come out and say that he didn't. Which, again, does speak volumes to me. Which goes on to say that she wants her pro-female supporters to keep being pro-female and supporting her. She doesn't want to come out and say that this was a lie and that somebody associated with my campaign lied or claiming to be associated, because that'll tarnish her. So she doesn't come out and say one way or the other, but she does admonish, if those are his opinions, if he felt that way, that she hopes he would not, that he would change his opinions. So I just find it real reminiscent that, again, he has, and this isn't to sit here and dump on females. I'm not a freaking sexist person. What I'm saying is that I find it very coincidental that, again, he has a female opponent who is behind in the polls, and right at go time, there's accusations of sexism. And that's where the Democrats are falling apart. Right now they're playing party politics, or image politics, identity politics, whatever you want to call it. Before they were playing party politics. Now it's identity politics. And that's the problem. Y'all are playing. This isn't a game. When you play a game, guys, there have to be winners and losers. If you're playing a game, then you're going to lose. Because when it comes to the American public and the well-being of Americans, as a elected official, we should all be winners. There should be no losers. There should be no loser party. There should be no winning party. Once you're elected to office, your job is to serve the public. Serve the people. Not serve 1/2 of them, or 1/3 of them, or 1% of them. All of them. And you can't do that if you're playing a team sport. Because again, when you play a game, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. And we should all be winners. And guys, that's just my opinion. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please remember to share, subscribe, comment below. If you hated it, guess what? Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you come back and hate me again later. Thanks, guys.